Let's see, let's start off the parts restoration with something complicated, like that, and something simple, like that. At my friend's workshop where I have plenty of room to work on this, and I think we should fire up the sandblaster, and actually, you know what? I'll probably take this out. Sandblast that separate. And let's try unscrewing this. Oh, there we go. And the threads still look nice and clean. So that's nice. There we go. I worry that this plastic might have started shrinking around this other piece of plastic, and that's what's causing this problem. But thankfully it looks like that's brass in there, so it's not rusty or anything, so that's good. Alright, so the chrome on this pull thing, I'm not sure of the terminology. I never actually played a pinball machine before, so I don't know much of the terminology. But the chrome did not take too well to the sandblasting. It made a lot of sparks and it gave a really bad finish. So I did not clean that, but I think it's probably good enough. Especially because this is the part that really matters. And thankfully this was protected by this. We'll let those parts dry, and I'm sure that WD-40 will do a good job. Kind of rub that around on there. Make sure the WD-40 gets all over that. Alright, so I spent a few minutes scrubbing this thing and it came out a lot better. I'm happy with that. The inside needs scrubbing too, but these parts have bigger issues. I'm just happy that we got this from it. Ah, very nice. Nice and smooth. Well, okay. If this was brand new, I'd complain, but for the condition it was in, it's pretty good. Next up we have this, which is the wood. Well, what's left of it. It's amazing what termites will do, or whatever the bugs were that ate all this wood. I'm going to clean up all these wires because they're not very useful. There we go. I would have loved to keep this wire on there, but in order to use the thing, I'm going to have to reconfigure it and resolder it, so it'd be such a mess. So what I might do is I might source some modern cloth covered wire of this size and make sure it looks exactly like it and do the same cable management and everything. But yeah, this stuff is in really bad condition. You can see it's all coming apart. I would not trust it. So yeah, I'm not so sure what to do with this besides toss it in the sandblaster and see what happens. but not great. Actually, the sandblasting did a very good job on this. Cleaned it up really nicely, actually. I think we should remove all of these, and that way we can actually get to the meat of the mechanism. Dare I say, things are actually going really well. One thing making this easier is that because this has been basically forgotten for so long, all these little pieces are stuck together, so they're not going to fall apart in my hands too much. Electromechanical devices do have a certain beauty to them. Now we're getting somewhere very, very far. Woohoo! Nice. So I've kind of been stalled out on this project for about a month. For good reason though, because first of all, I want to do the metal right. I want to do it right. So I've realized that I can't just paint it. I can't put oil over it. I have to zinc plate it. And so I spent about a month tinkering around with the zinc electroplating and have a little power supply for it and stuff. But it's going to need some more work. I don't have it quite where I want it to be. Like the bottom side works. Like this hasn't rusted up in weeks, whereas the top side has, and it's just the pain in the butt. I might try hot dipping, if that's the right term. We just get a bunch of zinc, melt it, and then dip the item in there, then pull it out, and there's a nice coating of zinc on there. But, second thing is the motor. I've realized that I'll have to rewind the motor, and the gear looks like it's so rusted out, like the armature and everything, that most of this section will have to be replaced. But, like, everything else looks fine, so if I could find like a drop-in replacement for this little motor right here, then I might be able to actually get a good amount of progress done. But probably what I'll do is I'll get a bunch of these mechanisms to this point, and then I'll just have a bunch of these motors, and then I can just find a solution for all of them. That'll be its own video maybe. And lastly, I've been spending a lot of time working on my workshop, and well, at this point I'm getting so much progress done that first of all I don't have much time for these other projects, so this has just been sitting here for a month, taking up space in my friend's workshop, which I feel kind of bad about. But also, because we're having so much progress done, I kind of don't feel like doing this right now, because I could just be working on my workshop, getting closer to where I can just work on this stuff at home, instead of having to drive like 8 miles to my friend's workshop. It's not that far, it's like 4 miles, but still, it's like a 25-minute ride each way if I go super fast. So it'd be really nice if I can just work on this at home. So it's another reason I'm putting this on hold, and I'll just kind of keep them in a nice safe spot, and then when I get my workshop done, we'll have plenty of room and space and ability to fix them. And I'm getting pretty excited for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.